Okay, everybody, I want to tell you what's been happening here with my 1969 Pontiac Parisienne. And what is a Pontiac Parisienne, you ask? Well, it's a Pontiac body that's on a Chevy chassis. It's built in Canada, so this is basically a Pontiac two-door convertible on a Chevy Impala chassis. Okay, so I've had this for decades. And the motor that was in it, there it is over there, was kind of leaky and all that kind of stuff. Didn't have a lot of miles, but you know, get old and smoky. But I got given a 400 engine, and I put it in, more than 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 12 years ago. And it's been fine. It's been okay. It would get a little bit hot when it's super hot out. And I wondered if it was because the heads on it were the wrong heads. It had been rebuilt by a place that, like a forestry place, and they were parting it out. And they I got the motor for free. Stuck it on the stand, had good compression, but they said it vibrated and put it in. Sure enough, it vibrated. And I thought, I bet it's a 400 because they're balanced on the flex plate, not inside the engine. And sure enough, I ran the numbers, and I had a 400, not a 350. They were, my friend that had it was kind of like, you gave away a 400, But anyway, it would do this overheat thing. And so I got, for a very good price, a pair of rebuilt heads that are actually 400 heads, the right ones, right there, for $250, freshly rebuilt. So I thought I'd pull it apart and put them on. And here's the heads I took off. They're like the 175 valves. The new ones are the 192 valves. And yet what I found was, sure enough, they had the steam holes where they were supposed to be. And I thought, maybe it's a rad problem. But while I was taking it apart, I thought, let's do the camshaft. And I bought a comp cam, 260H with flat tappets to go in there. And ready to go. Got the cam out, and what did I find? But the cam is hooped. I mean, this thing's pooched, man. It was still running, but you can see the destruction that's happened. That's just chewed right up. Can I get that to focus there? See if I can get it to focus. Yep, there we go. Look at that. See, just chewed up. And here's another lobe. Look at that lobe there. The first sign I saw was when I started pulling out the lifters, and the lifters were a mess. And man, oh man, look at that. And I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? And I wondered, well, maybe it's just, mess just starting up here. Let's do a measure. And I took my calipers, and I put it on I thought this was a fairly, let me change hands here if I can. Put it on a fairly decent, I can't do that. Fairly decent lobe, and put it on the lobe there, like that. And then went down, and here's the next lobe here that I got to. Let me show you here. There we go. I wrote it. It was 116 thou worn off it. Look at the gap. See the gap? That's how much is worn off the cam. So I thought, oh my gosh, it's probably got all kinds of debris in the motor. And sure enough, I start checking out the journals here, and I'm seeing not so good things, some wear, discoloration and wear in the journals. And now I've cleaned that off. That's in the journal. That's not dirt. And thought, she's the motor would you could probably put it in and run it, but if you clean it up, but why do that to this motor when I've still got the 350 there? And here's the thing, and I'll give another video later about the project. I got this motor. I think I've got two other motors. They're 4-bolt main flat top 350s. I think the 350s. One might be a 327. I'll have to check it, the red one. But the red one, it doesn't even have any ring edge. I don't know if it was rebuilt or what, but the other one, which I took out, was smoky and leaky when I put the 400 in. So if I check this one here, you know, I will get, there's an edge on the, see if I can focus that for you guys. There's, you know, you scratch it, you can feel the edge there. You can hone them out a bit and stuff. And the same thing with this one here. I think that's the one I took out, but this one, there isn't one. And I think, oh wow, that is great. It's really good. So I might end up doing that one up. And like I said, it's got the flat top eyebrow type pistons in there. Anyway, that's my project. And but I thought I'd tell you that because of the way the cam is worn out. That motor was running great. It still ran. When I took it apart, it was just getting kind of weak, and I wondered why. And so here's what I understand's happened. About 10 years ago, the oil companies took the metals out of their oil, like no more zinc, no more molybdenum, and that kind of stuff that would lube up these flat tappets properly to ride on the cam lobes. New cars don't need it, but they, I guess it was something to do with catalytic converters and all that. Well, of course, I didn't know unless somebody in the hot rod group said something. We didn't know. But you can still buy the oil for vintage cars. Put the vintage oil in your vehicles if you got an older car. And you can buy the oil that's got the proper, you know, moly and zinc and all the stuff that you need there. So I guess once I get this thing out and another one on the stand or whatever, I might post another video. Anyway, God bless you guys. Have a great summer.